Hey guys, this is Chris Bate coming back at you with Cheat the Game. Today I want to take a look at something, and I wanted to make this one just a little more interactive than we normally do. And having Cheat Engine, you can actually, come along with me on this little journey. But I got a challenge for you, and what we're going to learn today is script writing a double. Okay? But the challenge is, first, before we get into it, is I want you to go over here, get your Cheat Engines out. Come and do this with me. I want you to go to Help and then Cheat Engine Tutorial. I want you to go ahead and attach that to Cheat Engine. Now these you can do if you want to, or you can skip them, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to step 4, and this is the challenge. Now if you've done this in the past, you know that we looked up these addresses and we just changed the addresses to 5,000 to go ahead and have the next continue on. But here's my challenge. I want you, instead of using the addresses that you find for these two values and changing them to 5,000, you are to write an AOB injection script. That's right, write an AOB injection script, and it must do the following. It has to change both of these to 5,000 to allow that to become enabled. You can't go modify a flag. I know my pal Sneaky Mofo, he can do amazing things. Game hacking, I'm gonna tell you. He can show you how to enable flags or disable flags or whatever to get past this without having to do any of this. But the challenge is that you do have to change the value to 5,000 on both of these using an AOB injection script. I want you to do that, and pause this vid while you do that, and then we'll come back and take a look. Okay, welcome back. Well, I hope you do play along with me. It'll be more interesting, and you'll learn a lot more if you do come along with me on this little ride here. Okay, but how did you do? Was you able to turn both of them to 5,000 writing a script? About 90 some odd % of you probably got stuck. Because I'm gonna tell you, I got stuck not too long ago doing this. Okay, but my friend Ken McGinnis, I'm giving him a shout out. He is a great game hacker. He hacks Facebook games. He also hacks a lot of the games from the Microsoft Store. He is also over on the Cheat the Game Facebook channel that I'll put the link for down in the description. We'd love to have you too, by the way. But he was asking me, saying, Chris, I need some help, man. How do you write a script to move in a value for a double? I was like, oh yeah, well all you got to do is well, what you need to do, what you start out doing is you need to I'd be like, damn, I don't have a clue. I thought I could do it like a float, like we do the float, and we're going to do these right now, but it don't work that way. Doubles are a lot more tricky. Now, I'm not going into any technical terms, and I'm not going into any explanations as to why. There's plenty of information out there, but keywords are extremely long. Okay, they're extremely long, and there's a lot of information on out there if you want to go look it up, Google it up. There's a lot of information explaining what doubles are, keywords are. You'll see that these are actually like 2 addresses. They're huge numbers. But we have to do doubles. We write a script doubles a different way. Now, there's lots of ways you can do a script for a double. However, I always look for the easiest way. That's just me. If it works and it's easy, that's the one I'm going to stick with, and I disregard all the rest. Stick with what you know, disregard the rest. But I do like to learn these other methods as well. But like I say, when I find something that works, I move on. That's just me. That might be a bad trait to have, I don't know. But well, we're going to go ahead and get on with it. We're going to go ahead and tackle the float first, and you can just watch me do it. Alright, So we're going to get these working. If you wasn't able to get the float to work, well, you need to follow along with me as well. Now, if you're able to get both of those to work, then obviously this lesson isn't for you, because we're going to learn how to get scripts for floats and doubles working. Okay? We're mostly concentrating on the double, though. Alright, so let's just go ahead, and we have everything attached. We do the first scan on exact value, and right off the bat it gave us, just to make sure, yeah, there we go, 99.99. So we want to find out what writes to this address by placing a breakpoint on write. You can also hotkey F6, and we hit our health again, and we see the instructions. Now this is a float, store, and pop. It's a DWORD pointer, meaning the size. The ESI registry at the 494 offset is holding our health value for this particular example. So let's go to that location, and we can kind of see everything that's going on. There's so many ways you can do this. It's, you know, undescribable. We can knock out subtraction, but we know we need it to go up to 5,000, so knocking out the subtraction really isn't going to accomplish the goal. So what we need to do is we need to go modify this address, the CSI plus 494. So normally what we do is we go to tools, and we go right into our script with the AOB injection. We just go ahead and use our template, and I just named that the health 1. And we're just going to do just a regular injection. We don't have to change the jump to new min, because we don't need to compare anything out. We don't need to write any more code. We can just add on to this code here. We know that if we look at the snapshot, we know that it's loading up a specific address. It's subtracting from this address, float subtract, and it's subtracting that float amount from this address, and then it's storing it back with this opcode right here. And that's what it's also writing to the address. It's when it stores it and pops it back off the stack. So all we need to do is override that instruction. And the way we override it is just to put another code underneath it. We just put move, and then we use that same address. This is the address of our health. And then we can just put in parentheses float. We want to move a float value into that address, and we say 5,000. Simple enough, right? Add to the current cheat table. And the reason I do that is whatever is underneath it. So right here, it's going to store our hit. You know, it's going to go down to 98. Then it's going to move down here and follow this instruction. Then just right after it, move 5,000 right back into it. So with us, we're not even going to notice it, because computers do this faster than you can blink. But this is just overriding what it just previously done. So whatever's underneath it, that's one that's going to take precedence. So we're going to go ahead and name that, and I'm just going to name that float health, just for the purposes of this tutorial. And we can go ahead and turn that on and see if it's changed our value to 5,000. Boom, works like a charm. Now we come down here to the double. So let's go to new scan, and we got to change our value type to double now. Okay, and we know we're at 100 exact value, and that also brought up the address right off the bat, so we didn't have to hunt and peck for it. So let's go ahead and fire up a shot just to be sure. 99, yep, same thing. So let's go ahead and see what writes to this address. Same way, everything's the same so far, and you'll see a little bit of a difference here. It's a float, store, and pop, but it's also a QWORD pointer, and the double is located in EBX at the 498 offset. It's where it's storing this particular ammo value. So go ahead and let's show that in the disassembler. We're going to take a look at it, and you can see it's basically the same type instructions, except the only difference is the QWORD pointer. So why couldn't we possibly do that the same way? Let's try. AOB injection, and we're just going to put ammo 1. And we just do it the normal way we always do, the way we've always taught, and we're going to try to override that one too, the exact same way that we did the float. In theory it should work, right? So we'll just put it there, and this time we want it to put a double over there, and we'll put 5,000. Obviously, Cheat Engines accepts all these commands, so because it's assigned it to the current cheat table. So we can go ahead and name that double ammo. So let's go turn it on and see if it's worked. Uh-oh. Look what's happening. Still going down. What the hell's going on? Why is that not working? Well, without getting into the technical terms, this will never work. Doubles, like I say, the addresses are extremely long, and it operates in a completely different way. But we do have a way around this. And I'm going to take the easy route. So the way we want to do this is we're going to have to come about this a lot differently. What we want to do is we want to allocate new memory. Okay, just a different place that we want to store our 5000. We want to store the number 5000 in a separate place in memory that we can just call it when we want it. Okay, when we want to use it. So let's name it something, and we'll just say D-ammo. Okay, demo. And we just only need about 4 bytes there. And what that's going to do is it's going to allocate new memory, and it's going to reserve 4 bytes for us there. And all we're going to do is here's the kick right here, right, just underneath it. We can put we want to put the name of that new allocated memory that the cheat engine will recognize, computer will recognize, because it's been allocated. So we don't need a label for it to use it, because we're telling it we want it to go to that place in memory that it just allocated, and it's waiting on a command there. And what we want to do is define a quad word, a QWORD. Define Q, DQ. Okay, you remember in the past we used the I think it was DB, define byte. Well, here we're going to be storing a double. We're going to be storing a QWORD, and we're going to do it this way. We're going to put it in parentheses and store it in decimal form 5000, and the computer will automatically convert it to its double form of it. And if you want to see what the double form of it looks like, you can always go to a converter. Just go to Google online double convert, something like that, I think. Here it is, online binary / decimal converter. I believe that's it anyway. And just go ahead and put, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was it. Let me go to the actual converter here. There we go. Click on the double tab, and this is it right here. And you can just put in whatever number you want to see in hex form. That would be a double, and just put convert to binary. And this is what it looks like. This is what 5000 representation in hex as a double. You see how long that is? That's why it's not working. That's why that previous script did not work. Now, like I say, there are other ways to do this, but like I say, I found this appears to be the easiest way, and this is what I'm going to do. So let's go back to our script. And what we want to do is we want to come right before it. That we know that this is going to write to that QWORD pointer to this address. So right before it, we want to load what we just stored over in this new allocated memory. So how do we do that? We use the FLD command, and that's the load, float load, but we're telling it it is a quad word, not a D word. Okay, it is a QWORD pointer, so it knows that we're going to be dealing with the quad. Alright, all we want to do is load up our QWORD pointer, and remember what we called it? Well, now it's recognizing that 5000 as that name, because that's the name of the memory location. So all we have to do is just call that name. Say, give me that value here, from here. We want that value from demo, D-ammo. And it's going to load that into the QWORD, and it's going to save, it's going to store that and save it onto this address that we tell it to. Whatever address we tell it to, and it's going to pop that back off the stack and leave it there until it's ready to do it again. So let's just check it and see if it works. Click OK, and now let's click our code on. So let's go back to our tutorial, and now let's hit ammo. Boom, 5,000, 5,000, and we can continue on. Okay, I'm going to throw this in here also right quick, so bear with me. Let's just bring up another template and auto assemble, but we're not going to use a template. I mean, we're just going to use the auto assemble page. And Ken gave me this that he's run into, and it is for a double. As you can see here, move SD. It's moving a double value from the registry of XMM1 into this address here. And he wanted to know, well, how would I do it this way? You know, how would I, move the value into this way? Well, you do it the exact same way that, I just taught, except you got to add in all that other information yourself. So basically what I would do is I would go ahead and allocate the new memory. Just put alloc, I'm sorry, doing everything backwards, alloc, and we'll just say, I don't know what that value would be, but we'll just say dval, comma, and we'll just say the 4 bytes again. And then we want to, just like we did in the other, everything's the same, dval, and then we just DQ, and then double, and whatever value you want to put there. I'm just going to choose a random 9999. That's the most common anyway. And what I would recommend doing is just void that one out like that, and then just write in those instructions yourself. FLD QWORD PTR, which means pointer, space, and then put in the name of that memory, dval. I'm sorry, not parentheses, you need brackets there, dval, and then close bracket. Okay, and then you'll have to put the store and pop yourself. FSTP, float store and pop, QWORD pointer, space, and then bracket, then your address, which would be this right here. I'll take that bracket out, so this right here, and then make sure that also, and just make sure that down here you're also deallocating that new mem also, which was dval. All you have to put is dval. And so you just had to write out that float store and pop yourself, and it'll work the same way. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. So it's still the same thing. It don't matter how this is. All you really need is the address that it's storing, and then you just write your own float store and pop, and it will go to that memory. It'll load up that 9999 right here, and then it's going to store it to this address, and then it's going to jump return and pick up where it left off. So both will do the same thing that we just showed you. So that was a good question too. So I wanted to throw this in here as well. That was a good question. I thought that was a great question, Ken, and I really right off the bat didn't know how to answer it, because to tell you the truth, I have never just been slammed up against it. Usually when I had a double, usually it was something like a timer value or something of that nature, and I would just knock it out and just not even fool with it, and I just rarely ever run into it where I actually needed to move a value into it. So so that was a good question, and he had asked me that, and I said, that would be good to cover, because I looked all over the net. I didn't see one video about it. I saw some good write-ups about it, and I got this off the Cheat Engine website. A lot of people were instructing this. I believe Mr. Anti-Fun, Jerry, and several others there. Thank you guys for your instruction on that. And they were doing it all different types of ways, and this was one way that to me was the easiest, that I understood. So I hope this helped you and answered your question. So if you do run into a double next time, you can definitely do it this way, and it will work for you. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe if this helps you. Please come join us over at the Facebook website. We'd love to have you over there. I will leave that at in the description also. And join us over at guidedhacking.com. They go over everything from beginner to advanced C++, C#, IDA Pro, even into reverse engineering. Great bunch of guys over there. You will really learn a lot. So come join us over there also. Well, you guys take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. Take care now.